Look, the numbers don't lie. There have been at least 22 drownings in Quebec since the start of the year. These two most recent ones in Montreal and Verdun. A couple of questions come to mind here. Number one, this idea about not swimming alone, which obviously makes perfect sense because then if someone sees you in trouble, yeah, you can make a phone call. You can get someone to help, at least let someone know that you were there. But the other question is, with respect to where you shouldn't be swimming to begin with, there are signs, by the way, that mark these areas, even on Verdun Beach, yet they don't seem to be enough of a deterrent, which kind of begs the question of should we be doing more to prevent people from going in, even though the signs say they shouldn't, because it looks like it's the same part of a river where they would have been moving, perfectly fine, just a little further up. Raynald Hawkins is Executive Director of the Quebec Life Saving Society. He's on the line. Mr. Hawkins, thanks for your time this afternoon.
It's a real pleasure.
Let me begin by asking, am I asking for too much here? I mean, I'm staring at the sign that says, baignade interdit, but bottom line is it's just a little further down the beach from where you are allowed to swim.
But you're right. I was there and I saw those signs and explained you have strong currents and you have also the danger for a drowning situation. But people say, oh, listen, it's not for me because I can swim. And again, I need to explain to everyone, when you try to swim inside the river, it's very important to control, if you can, your swimming skill with currents. And that's why I always said, listen, when you want to go inside the rivers, outside of the swimming area, when you have lifeguard on duty, you have to use the rivers only for boating activities. That means you have to wear a personal flotation device because you never know how you gonna react with currents or vortex or those falls we can have inside the rivers. So that's why it's very important to repeat our key messages. Please don't try to do more swimming activities inside the rivers because we know swimming and bathing activities inside the river, this is the principal factor involved with those running fatalities we have in Quebec province.
I would ask as well, and I can't really speak for the rest of Quebec, but I know Verdun Beach, where so many people, of course, will go down there, especially on the kind of days we're having now. And I started by asking you whether we should be doing more from beyond just saying don't swim here because there's a current, it's strong. For people out there who think, well, like you said, I know how to swim, it's okay, I can do it. I don't think anyone ever has an idea, and this happened to me only once. No matter how good a swimmer you are, if there's a rip current, you get tossed around like a beach ball underwater, and a lot of people obviously don't come back from that. How do we get that message across?
Again, we need to repeat our key messages behind all the drama situation. This is an opportunity to repeat, listen, this is the probability of what happened. And I will give you another example. I saw that inside the media. A woman, she fell down overboard of her paddling activities. Yeah. And she realized how it's very important to wear her personal flotation device. And other person reached her and saved her. And she said, if they were not there, I'm very sure it was another drowning victim. So it is that this is a kind of a reality we need to see all the time to change the behavior for everyone. I know Ottawa City, they have those kind of realities with drowning inside the rivers where they have beaches, and they increase the sign and they increase also the flags. So when you have a flag, the red flag, that means we don't have any lifeguard on duty. So if you go inside the river, it's at your risk. And when we have the green flag, that means, okay, now we have lifeguard on duty. Please swim close to this flag. And we have that everywhere around the world, swim between the flags. So it is this is a kind of recommendation of the corner we will see for those two drowning situations. Could be a solution, but again, I know we put many signs in Quebec province about how many people drown here for the lakes and the rivers, and you know what? We know the drowning can happen again because no one want to follow those safety rules. So that's why it's very important to repeat.
You know, it's funny, to your point, it doesn't seem like that's asking very much, right? Bigger signs, put the flags up, and just, spend a little more time from the city's point of view of making it obvious that this is not where you should be swimming. Why aren't we doing that?
Yeah, but when I went there to the Verdun beach, I saw the lifeguards use their whistles and say to the people, please come back inside the swim area. And many of them, they say, no way. So again, we don't need to have some police officer on the beaches to try to control, but we take the responsibility to advise them. They have a sign. So the lifeguard, they use the whistle and say, please be back. If for many reasons they don't want to follow those safety standards, I think you take a risk. But the issue we have here, maybe because they were new Canadians, maybe they don't understand all those safety rules. And that's why we start since last year to try how we can reach them and how we can explain to them those boating and aquatic safety rules. Maybe during inside the francisation program, for example, could be one of the solutions.
Yeah, no, that's actually a very good solution. And again, we're very early in the summer, right? And already 2 drownings in Montreal. So more important than ever for people to get that message. Mr. Hawkins, I thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it today.
You're welcome. Have a nice day.
Raynald Hawkins with the Quebec Life Saving Society. As I said, just those 2 drownings in Verdun Beach, literally days apart, but already 22 drownings in Quebec since the start of the year. So, yeah, it's time to start paying attention. Again, looking at the sign of Verdun Beach, you look at it and you go, don't swim here because it says, and it's not a big sign. As I said, maybe that's step 1. Just make it really, really obvious to people. Maybe that can help. It certainly couldn't hurt.